This is ex-Bethelite here. Uh, my older sister made a video, and her channel is, I believe, under Andrea Myers. I haven't tried looking it up that way. I found it because she sent it to me. But if you look up Andrea Myers, hopefully that pops up there. And in that video, she talks about some very personal things that you have to be very brave to discuss on social media. The title, I believe, was something to the effect of I was disfellowshipped because I was raped. And I'll just touch on things, because she has decided it's something okay for her to talk about on social media. Of course, it's something I've known about for years, but now that it's something that she has decided to open up about on social media, it's something that we can begin to discuss. This is something that is really just touched on in those videos. She did 2 videos, and in the 2 videos, it is just touched on. There is so much information, so much that needs to be looked into, that I will try to do the best I can and discuss some of those things here. When somebody goes through something that traumatic, being sexually assaulted, being raped. I have never been raped before, so I can't discuss exactly what that is like and exactly the psychological damage that does. I can talk about mental duress, something that puts you under such mental duress that you are no longer capable of making rational decisions. There are some of you that have gotten to know me because, I've put my phone number out and we have talked, and, the phone number on my old YouTube, that phone broke, and it was a long drug out thing and trying to get that number switched over, so I just got another number. Otherwise, it just took me forever to get a phone. So I got another number and have put that on videos and on my Facebook and things like that. When I was at Bethel, this is me relating to mental duress. I was going through a lot. There were racial discrimination, things that I was going through with regards to my work assignment. There was a lot that I was seeing on a daily basis that did not match up with what I was taught my entire life growing up that the organization stood for. There was this quote unquote reassignment that really is, for me, was me being sat down in front of two Bethel elders and told that I was going to be cut. Basically, they're making cuts. Not told that I was giving some other assignment. It was a notification that you need to be getting ready to be on your way. In my mind, that was impossible, because while they were imperfect people, the organization was perfect, because the organization was led by God. Organizationally, as a whole, there couldn't be any major muff-ups. That was a major muff-up, because people that they had taught not to go to college, but to make a career out of pioneering and Bethel service, those are the people that they were telling they no longer had room for. That didn't make any sense at all. If Bethel was no longer going to be able to facilitate Bethelites, and God knew that, and God was involved with that organization, God would have known that. People would not have been directed to pioneer for a number of years and then apply for Bethel. They would have been directed to get a trade and get a job. Get something that they could live off of, because you're not going to Bethel. Rather, they were told that they were going to go to Bethel. A trade was not necessarily the most important thing. The most important thing was a willing attitude to be able to work wherever Bethel decided to send you to work. And if you did your job in a faithful manner, Bethel would be your career. There'd be no reason to think otherwise. If a person decided to give of themselves to the point of never getting a secular job, never receiving, pay for their work, probably, as far as marriage is concerned, not even getting married, never getting married. Let's put it all the way out there. As far as what I had to deal with at Bethel, praying and meditating and struggling with desires to be in a relationship and be active with the opposite sex. I dealt with all those things at Bethel, and deciding that I would rather serve God than get married and satisfy those natural desires to be in a close relationship with a woman. A person deciding to forego all of those things and to go through that big of a sacrifice. I don't mean being single and hanging out with women all over the place. I mean being single and working in your Bethel assignment and studying for your meetings and going out in field service and doing all the extra Bethel duties. There is no organization I know of, that would require so much. And you're willing to give that much. Of course, you think you'd stay at Bethel. You're going to forego marriage and everything else and then get put out? No, that doesn't make any sense. So Bethelites, you don't have people, the real Bethelites, that are thinking that they're just going to be set for life. A person that can't even do anything with the opposite sex. All the stuff you guys do, Nothing wrong with it, but all the stuff you guys do on a regular basis with the opposite sex, a Bethelite, you know, that the Bethelites, the real Bethelites, the Bethelites that didn't just go and do it anyway, but the people such as myself that really were willing to forego all of those things, to see women and all that entails and decide focusing everything on God, because you know, even though there's nothing wrong with having a wife, that would still detract at a second away from time I could be spending serving God. You know, I mention all that to say that there's sacrifice involved with remaining at Bethel for a lot of Bethelites. It's not something that's just easy. Oh, wow, you guys get fed and you guys have a room. You know what I mean? It's not something that's just easy. You're in a room with a roommate you may not like or agree with at all, and you guys don't even have enough room to have any privacy. You don't get to go and pick the cereal you like to eat. You don't get to, you know what I mean? You know, it's depending on how much money you have, and you have far less than the average person. So I say all that to say that being told after all of that Bethel's making cuts, Bethel's having layoffs. What? Being told that there was enough mental stress and mental I was under enough mental duress that there was definitely a time I wasn't thinking clearly. And you guys that have spoken to me, know me, and you know that I'm very forthright and I talk about things that the average person might not talk about. So there was a time going through all of that at Bethel that I was not thinking correctly. I wasn't thinking on the same plane that I would think now. My mental stability was altered. And I remember going to the roof. There were certain residences that you can get on, you know, you can get up on the roof and look over the top of the building, that, you know, and just relax or do what have you. Some people would just hang out up there. And it was late at night, I recall, and I went to the top of the building to do a little meditation. There ain't no place that you can go at Bethel to be alone, to do some meditation. And what I'm saying is there's no place you know for sure, if I go here, I can do some meditation and relax. And I mean, unless you're going to go to the toilet somewhere to do your meditation. So I went to the roof because, you know, going to my room, roommate might be there playing music as loud as possible. Go to the library, there might be 8 people in there chatting just as loud as they want to be. Went to the roof thinking, you know, at this hour, maybe I'll be able to get up there and have some time to just think and just be by myself for a while. And I went to the roof and there wasn't anyone there that I saw. And I went to the edge, and keep in mind all the things that I've been telling you guys that have gone through my head. And mentally, I was not at that point. After being told all this stuff about Bethel's letting people go now. I mean, that is a literal impossibility to me. Theologically, that's an impossibility that could possibly happen. So I'm up there on that roof looking down, and I'll be honest with you guys, the thought of jumping from that roof did cross my mind. The thought of jumping from that roof wasn't the reason why I went up there, but once I got there, it became to me an option. It wasn't an option because I just wanted to end everything. It became an option because my mental faculties were not working correctly because of the duress that I was under. And I always thought that I would live my entire life at Bethel up until, if you're a Jehovah's Witness, you know what I mean when I say the end of the system. So I would live my entire life at Bethel, and that would be it. And I would be satisfied with that. And in that split second, in that, not even a split second, in that very dangerous and somewhat lengthy time frame that I was on that roof, the option of still having that happen was there. And it was jumping from that roof. And I remember something in my mind, do you have faith? The organization has gone, in my mind, the organization has gone rogue, or some people in the organization has gone rogue, putting people out of Bethel that wasn't Jehovah's will. To me, in my mind, that's not Jehovah's will. Some people have gone rogue and they're about to put people out. Would it be an act of loyalty to jump from that roof, foil their plans, and die a Bethelite? As stupid as that sounds, some of you guys are probably laughing right now. As stupid as that sounds, that was a viable option. That was an option to me at that point. Why? Because stress, duress, trauma can make you think things you would ordinarily not think. Never that I recall think anything like that prior to that time at Bethel. And I remember, as unnerving as this is even to me at this point, I remember not doing it. Why? Not because, my senses just came to me, but as I was staring down from the roof of one of the residential buildings at Wallkill Bethel, I sat and I thought, there's grass down there. What if I hit the grass and don't die and I'm like crippled? I still leave Bethel. You know what I mean? I still leave Bethel. I don't die a Bethelite. I don't thwart, the plans of those that are going rogue and sending Bethelites away. And that became a serious, actual thought. If I jump, I could hit this grass and not die. That was an honest thought going through my mind. And I look back at it now as the furthest thing from what Marcus would think if he was rational. So there are things that can cause you to do things and think things that you would never do or never think. I hate to think that if that was high enough and there were concrete down below, like if I was at Brooklyn and looking down from one of those buildings, and the thought of I might live was not going through my mind, what I may have done, and thought that it was okay, and thought that this would show them, and that there would be watchtowers about it, and that these people would be exposed, and this would be some kind of victory, and I'd just be seeing everybody in a new system. I was that damaged psychologically, and I relate that to what happened to my sister. And the reason why I relate that is because of the decisions that she made after being sexually assaulted, after being raped. If you guys watch the videos, you will see that she got raped, and then after, she didn't tell anybody. She kept it to herself. Later found out that she was pregnant and all kinds of things. Under that sort of duress, and again, I don't know if it was after she found out she was pregnant or before that she became sexually active with someone. That's not even the point. It is after there was duress and a person under that type of duress being raped. I can't even imagine that. Most men can't imagine that. Unless you've been in prison or something. Most men can't imagine that unless it's something that happened to them when they were children. Just because most guys can fight back. And I mean, it would be a war if somebody tried to rape your average male. That just is not going to really, be something that's an easy thing to do. So, under duress, after being raped, then she succumbs to possibly some guy that is telling her that he's wanting to be in a relationship with her. I don't know what he was telling her. I have no clue what he was telling her. I know that they became sexually active after all that stuff had happened, after she went through all that, and she hadn't spoken to anybody. So obviously she wasn't getting the counsel that she needed. She wasn't getting, something like that. I'm sure women who go through something like that go to some sort of counseling to be able to begin to heal the mental wounds that they have suffered. You have to go through some sort of counseling. My sister didn't get any of that. She didn't get any counseling, nothing. But the organization decided that we're going to give you the strongest form of punishment there is for decisions made under duress, under stress, after being raped. This is unbelievable. You're raped, and then the organization then slams you with disfellowshipping, which means your father, my sister, probably hadn't. Oh my goodness, I hadn't spoken to my stepdad, and who knows, but that's her biological father. She probably hadn't spoken to him, and good grief, who knows how long and why? Because she got raped? Are you serious? That's why, one of the many reasons why, I question whether or not this organization is even Christian. To be able to do things like that to people. It'd be one thing if she was just doing whatever she wanted under a clear mind, but after having been raped and then succumbing to men who can be very persuasive, very persuasive, and then being disfellowshipped after that. I mean, good grief. You guys let me know what you think about all of this. This is ex-Wallkill Bethelite signing out.